Hello, it's Blue coming to you live from La Ville Rose, enjoying a vertical phone camera view today because we are joined by the champion of the recent French qualifier in Lille during his vacation, Pompote. If you noticed a few more occurrences of a particular Axiom hero on BJ or even at your locals, it might be because of this guy. Against all odds, he was able to pilot the Axiom Hero Treyst to a world championship qualification spot, as well as an overall victory for the entire tournament against some of the best players in the world, even without a particular card loop everyone has been worried about. We are able to go over how he accomplished such a feat, why you shouldn't spend too much money on similar uniques, and a wild story about a bar, a particular dice rolling hero, and a qualification spot. Now, do me a quick favor and subscribe, like, and hit that bell if you enjoy this content. And now, let's go talk about the Axiom hero that's holding up the entire faction. Hello, everyone, and we are back for another Top Cut Talk. I am Blue, joined by one of the top Altered players as our guest. Please introduce yourself and tell us a bit how you got into Altered.
So, hi everyone, I'm Thomas, aka Pompote. Uh, I'm a 30-year-old guy, that works as an engineer for a company in telecommunication. I've always played like video games and games since I was little boy, so I've always liked TCG and all the stuff. I've played Hearthstone, Cross Maga, which is a French TCG, Runeterra, and so on and so on. But Altered is the first like real game that I'm playing. So it's a bit new, but I really like it, as you can see, and that's it.
Definitely. So, as far as like the first real game, is it like the first one that you've been like focusing on competitively then, as far as a TCG is concerned?
Exactly. The first one that I'm really competitive about, and also the first one that really interests me because the fact that there are uniques and a potential of building that is way above any other TCG for me is really interesting and really helped me to develop my deck building and my way of thinking in this type of game. So Altered is like the most entertaining TCG for me, actually. And also the fact that this is a new game is way easier for a new player, for beginner, to try out and to maybe invest because you don't have to be like in Magic where you have to buy a quantity of stuff that is not really relevant, especially when you have a community hashtag as the one of Magic. So yeah, Altered is like the best TCG for beginner for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the cool things I liked about Altered, obviously other than the gameplay itself, was one of
Mm,
the things of it just starting out, so you could really
mm.
get in on the ground level of just about everything, right? Whatever you wanna be
Exactly.
involved in, right? So, it's a very cool thing as a whole and being one of those early players, I think, but,
Yeah,
glad
for
someone
sure.
else is feeling the same. But yeah, we get into, an event that you participated in, the 2nd World Championship qualifier in Lille, France, and you came away with not only one of the qualification spots, but also with the 1st place prize as the champion of the event.
Yeah.
What was the experience at this event like just being there compared to have you been to other TCG events? You said this is the first one you've done competitively, but have you, like, been to one
Yeah.
just to be to one, or what has that been like for you?
So to get back a bit in time, first of all, I tried the TCG with a best friend of mine, which nickname is Linksin. We tried like in October, so mid-season, mid-set one, and it was a game that I really liked. So first of all, I started with Unfriend. Then when I came back to my city, so Lyon, I forgot to say that I'm from Lyon in France. I tried out this game in like some bars, and then I met many friends, especially two at the beginning, so Nab and Sturk, and then I joined my team, Fugas. So this is a little team. We are like 15 in Lyon. And this has his importance for the next part of the story. So then we are a little team. There are 15 boys living in Lyon. And some big events are announced by Ludo, which is like the big event organizer in France. And then, so the first big event that I go in is Nantes. So there was like a 256 player tournament organized in Nantes. And this was my really, really first event at the beginning of the set two. So really first competitive and big events with players and cash prize and everything. So I've been there with a deck that I create. It's a bit ballsy to say that I created it, but the Izmir resupply. So a deck that today is really known and everything. So to be a bit more precise about the creation of this deck, in my team there is a guy that is really well known in the community, Moondust. So he created a deck with Aurak that resupply infinite with bodies with stats 0. So it has inspired many other gameplays. Sorry. So mine was related to his creation, and so I created this deck, went to Nantes with it, and did a. It's a good performance. I'm kind of proud of myself. I finished like 33 on 256, so it's not the best one, but it's quite good for me for the first event. So I was quite happy. And then come Ludo Trotter with their announcement of World Championship qualifier. And so me and my team, because I'm not the only one that have done such a performance during this weekend. We went there. We were like maybe 10, and the first day was like I think for me the most magical day because we woke up at maybe it was like 7, something like this, because the tournament starts at like 8:30. So you have to be there, and then you have to prepare yourself for 11 games. So 11 times 45 minutes. So it's going to be a very, very long day. You will be like exhausted.
Right.
And so the tournament begins. Me and my team are ready. And the day passes. I've been like to 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5 until 7-0. So at the moment, I was like, my goal is to do the best performance I can. But when you are 7-0, you're like, maybe there's a chance to go to the cut. So yeah, you're 7-0. And then I go to the streaming table. So it was like the second times I went there. And I face one of my biggest fear for my deck. Uh, Unix broken. So the meta Treyst rebound, for instance,
Mhm.
which is for me on one way a good creation because it fits with the idea that I have that you can play every hero and every deck with the customization, which is like crazy. You can go with things that even are not discovered yet, so it's really good. On the other way, the gameplay is like, okay, then I throw my deck at your face and okay, you win. I
Right.
can do anything. So yeah, 7-1. I can't do anything about it, but I have to do so in order to have an idea. All the 10, 11-0, 10-1, and 9-2 players were qualified for the 32 cut.
Mhm.
And then you have like maybe 15% of the 8-3, the best
Yeah.
8-3. So I have to be sure to pass the cut. So I have to do 2-1. Yeah, if I miss 7-1, I have to do 2-1. I have to be in 9-2 to be sure to pass.
Right.
So after this loss, I did like 8-1, 8-2, and 9-2. So it was anyway a good run, but I was kind of stressed for my last game because it was the
Yeah.
one that was the most important. And then I end the first journey with so my best friend Lixin, and we are both qualified because I'm 6 and he's 8. So we are in the top cut both. So we get back to his apartment, and it's like you have been to a day full of games. So you've been uh, awake for like more than 12 hours thinking, playing. it likes the even if you like this game, it's like an overdose.
Yeah,
You can't just be happy after a game like this. So it was really strange as a feeling. It was like, yeah, we win. Oh yeah,
yeah,
what just happened? So it was, yeah, really really funny, really exhausting, but damn, what a feeling and what a memory, because it's crazy.
right,
But it's you just passed the first day. You have like the next day coming. So focus and try to do the best you can.
right.
But to be honest, I didn't even sleep for like the whole weekend.
Right. This since then, I mean, this event in Lille has been like one of the largest that we've had for a bit, and will likely probably be the largest until we get to the last chance qualifier. I think we'll probably get
Mm.
a bunch of people for that. But I other than just like getting through everything and like dealing with it in that sense, how was it for you as a player with so many people there? And is there any kind of like improvements you'd want to see from
Mm.
Equinox for future events like this?
Honestly, it was amazing. The staff was very amazing also. Judges, the way the tables were organized, because you have like 350 players to deal with. So no, concerning the event itself, everything was perfect. Equinox doesn't and Altered team doesn't have to change anything. It was really impressive. But so concerning maybe another aspect of the event that kind of annoys me, it's more like the communication. We already experienced it with the POD. Uh, they have a way to announce things to hype people that may not be convenient for me. I don't say that it's not convenient for everyone, but for me, it's not, because when you announce something, you have to take care about like deadlines and the preparation that it needs. For instance, they announce the World Qualifier like a month before the starting date. We are in vacation in France. It's like
Yeah.
a period where all the people are taking like holidays for a week, for a month, and you say 1 month. So in June, it was in June, so the vacation already started, and everybody has planned everything. You say that there will be like maybe the most important event because you have to qualify to the world just 1 month before. I think this is a bit, how can I say, fast.
But
And you don't.
as far as the event itself, did you have a favorite thing that you liked? You said for the most part it was a good event ran by Equinox. There
Mm,
or something that you want to see continue
yeah,
in
yeah.
future events?
Um, First, Equinox is great and I have nothing to change. But the thing that really helped me during this day, exhausted day,
Mhm.
was like the behavior of all the player. You have a community that is really friendly and really loving, and so I don't think I had like one game where somebody in front of me, even when I was like at the top tables, it was always fair play and really encouraging. I have people that I just fought for for the top 32 cuts, and that didn't make it. That went the next day and was like cheering for me. Sorry. So it's unbelievable, and really, I don't think that's. I don't think. I don't know. But in this community, the fact that everybody is like friendly and help you through this, it's overwhelming. So again, thank you to all my opponent and all the people, sorry, sharing for me, because it's unbelievable, really.
Yeah, I think that's one of the bigger things within Altered, the amount of people that are just like a nicer community as a whole from what I've heard
Mm,
from a lot of people.
mm.
I thought you were just gonna say winning was the best part, but, the nice
No, not at all. Really, really not at all. Because when you win and you don't know where you are, at the moment, it's not really the best feeling. The best feeling was when I won the qualification part. So
Okay,
from the semi-final to quarterfinal.
right.
No, no, no. It's how do you say like before quarterfinals?
Well, I mean, it would just be you went from the top 16 to the quarterfinal, right? For the top.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. So top 16 to quarterfinal.
yeah,
I've just so win my game. It was a difficult game. I was 0-1, then 2-1.
yeah,
So I did a comeback from
yeah.
space. But so I win this. Everybody is screaming in the room. I just like my cards are not even in my bag. That then I turn my face and I see like one of my altered best friends, Nab, that I was talking about at the beginning, in
Mhm.
tears. So this is the most iconic image I have in my head, that my friends are like crazy about it, and I'm so exhausted. I'm like, I'm happy, but I'm okay, on to the next one.
Right.
But yeah, this was the best image and the best feeling, to be honest. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
getting away from just the individual tournament, but going more specifically into your deck and obviously everything associated with that.
Mm,
Speaking from experience, mostly through BGA and then my locals, you have been one of the major reasons after the result in Lille for the resurgence of Treyst as a hero, I think, and specifically without necessarily that bug
yeah,
fix loop that everyone's
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
That, everyone was focused on that, but, what was it that you saw in Trace during testing or just playing at events that made you decide that this is the hero and deck list that you wanted to bring to the event? I mean, given that Axiom as a faction has kind of
Mm,
been not as popular since the Bravo Bastion nerf.
mm. To be honest, you said it. The reason is BGA. So the deck was tested, and I was like in the top 20 players the season before. I did 18, 20, and now I'm like in the top 40. So it is a deck that worked every time. You have BGA, which is the best platform to test your deck, and it's available for everyone. So shout out to them because it's really, 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 really good. But then the idea, uh, how can I start? First, so I first began sorry with Traced. It was a hero that really interested me because you have a hero that can draw all your deck. So it's obviously interesting. And so I tried at the mid set one with the Av, you say in English, sorry. The card is like the Bastion.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the Haven Bravo Bastion?
Heaven Barbers, sorry, because
Yeah,
in French it's Havre, so that's why.
yeah, you're
So
good.
you have the so you have the Evan Bastion that was the main card of the deck, but way too strong, and
Right,
they had all their rights to nerf it.
right.
But when it came back, I didn't expect everybody not to like it because it was I was like, yeah, that was the nerf that I was expected. It was logical. It's a bit a shame that they waited so long to deliver the new effect. But I was like, yeah, maybe it's still playable. I tried it and I was like, damn, a permanent that you can like how do you say rentabilize? I don't
Mhm,
know. The turn you play it because
mhm,
you can resupply and give a boost
right,
uh, on the turn you play it. So it's only benefits from this.
yeah,
It's quite amazing. It's the same for the Killen Cylinder. You have two permanent that when you play them, it's instantly rentabilized. So
yeah,
let's try them, and it was just perfect. You have so many cards that works with them. You have so much card in the set three also, not only in the set two that help the development of the deck. And honestly, I think today I don't want to give me flowers, but I think today is the strongest deck you can play without uniques. Like
mhm,
you can just play this deck, don't have uniques, and just test it, and it will work very fine. So yeah, everything combined. I just had the idea, tested it on BGA like everyone, tested it in my local store like everyone, and I know that it was good, not that good, but I know that it was good and it worked. So
deck, but,
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting as you're mentioning as far as, like, building, like, deck building and deck lists. One of the things that has got everyone talking about your deck list in particular were the unique Anansis and
Mm.
everything associated with them.
Yeah.
How how actually important were they to your success, and why did you choose them over other uniques that were pretty popular with trace decks, as far
Mm,
as ones that where you put cards in your reserve, you get to resupply or something to that effect?
mm. Um, I think first of all, my uniques are not like uh, mandatory for my deck. You can play so many things and you can adapt the deck like as you want. So Anansis were like the best way for me to go above Sigis or Afanas. The difficult approach about the meta is dealing with Afanas because Sigismar is a good matchup for Trest anyway because when you have a Haven setup, you have the token every turn, so it's not that hard to play against. For Kojo, it's more because they play curvy, so you always have the last word, so you can just put your resources and optimize the way you're playing. So it's not really a difficult matchup, but as everyone knows and as every players of Altereds knows, Afanas is like the terrifying matchup you will ever have in this game for now. So you have to play against this hero because I knew that during my run I will face maybe I just how many maybe five or six. So I won against five of them because I'm here. But no, I lost one at tiebreak and I lost one game against Etigma in the finals.
Right.
So you have to play against this hero. So what's the best way to beat an Afanas hero? And this is also an advice, sorry, that you have to take in order to build your deck. Is that to build Afanas, you have two ways. Otherwise, you create monsters that are four or more first, but it's not the best way to do it, but it kind of works. Like my Anansi that is a beast with first four cost from hand. And the other way is to have more after you than him than his. So the goal of this deck was to have little cards such as Frozen Delivery, the Sniffer, and many cards that are one cost, and to have uniques that can be impactant with a cost of one or two, not more, because I don't want to place a board that the guy in front of me can like for one you sleep up and end of the story. So I want to be sure that all my resources are well placed and that with 3 mana I can pass from both sides. It never happens like this, but the fact that for 1 or 2 mana you have a burst of stat, it's like the best first the best feeling and also the best thing you can do with like your mana. But there are so many ways to play it. For instance, my deck with my Anansis is a bit weak against Muna and Anchored. So in order to deal with this weakness, you can go with, for instance, Merlin. Merlin is a great card because you have the scoot from the end. So you have the equivalent of Avalanche or any gestion spell from the end. And from the reserve, they oftenly cost like two and have great starts. So for instance, you have a 4/4/2 for two from the reserve, and from the end you have the opportunity to play it as a spell to deal with Aloe Vera or other cards that can be annoying to play against. So for instance, Merlin, but it works with every scout that you can find. It works with Abbey, it works with the Templar, it works with Icar. The only condition is to have a card that costs two or less from the reserve. The more stats you have, the better is, but the fact that it has to cost two is for you to not brick and to play against and to play around it. For instance, you have 4 mana, you play Haven, you know that the card you will resupply is a card that costs two or less, and you can trust your resupply and like don't throw a coin and say I have maybe two avalanche in my deck and fuck I just got an avalanche in my reserve. So there are so many ways, but yeah, the Anansi are incredible. I don't think I would have won without them, but honestly, I think you can do a big performance with good Unix. It has to be great Unix like every deck. I don't want you to believe that you can do it with only commons and rares, but you can find other way to play than the Anansis, for
But
sure.
you did mention a few different things as far as specific cards that you might see in other Axiom decks, but you actually didn't have them in your deck list, and I think you kind of touched on it already as far as, like, why you decided to do that, but, you didn't really have any, um, hard removal as far as,
Mm,
like, a Keylon Burst, an Avalanche, Boom, Sap
yeah.
Overflow kind of thing, when other players seem to do that or when they were playing Traced. Was there
Mm.
any other reason that you did that other than just the cost of them, or
No, no, too expensive, but it's the only reason, but it's sufficient because really the big part of Trust is that you have to activate your hero the fastest as the faster possible. That's
Mhm.
why also you have permanents that came out. The I don't know the name in English, but in French it's la raffinerie.
Oh, yeah, the refinery.
So yeah, the refinery.
Yeah.
So this permanent is quite good for trust. When you look at the card, you have to put for two a permanent, and every three stack you can give three boost at any characters you want in your reserve. So it's amazing for trust. But the only fact that in early game when you're not activated, you can resupply it, make it for me unplayable because you can brick, and then if you play an Afanas or a hero that can take one expedition or two in advance from you, it's impossible to get back from it. Impossible. You don't have the resources and the mean to do it, especially when they have some spell for two that can remove your permanent. So you can like brick, and then they can do some gestion on your permanents, and it's over. Like the game is finished. So you have to play around the activation of your hero. That's why gestion and permanent that doesn't help to develop the trust hero are not viable for me.
You already mentioned you're part of an altered team, local to your group, about 15 people. Can you tell me a little bit about the team and how important were your team members in your preparation and
Exactly.
ultimate success?
So my team is named the Fugas, donc les Fugas. We did such a great performance during the tournament because Sparky, the Nevenka player, is part also of this team.
Yeah.
And we just recruited Etigma, so the Afanas that I fought
Okay.
in the finals. So he was not part of our team, but he's a guy from my city, and we oftenly play against each other. And so it was like we knew that this was coming. So my team is composed by 15. Now I think we are like maybe 70 or 19 because the success of ours like helped to open the gates, I
Yeah.
can say, because we wanted to limit it at 15, but we just like maybe thought that we can do better, so open the gates and help all this player to come and join. So yeah, this is a team that really helped me through all the tournament, of course, but also on the preparation. We have an event every week that we do all together. We play each other's deck, and we created. I just put some quotes. We created a meta, a Lyon meta that is not related to the BGA and the meta in general.
Mhm.
So it helped to develop the decks. I think about Mundus that created all the Lyra resupply. I think about all these uniques that are completely broken. And so you have the meta to respect and the tournament, the weekly to respect also. So this is like the best training that you can have to play against your friends and your team and to be aware of all the things that you can find on an altered community. So big shout out to them. I love them, and I don't think I could have make it without them. So for sure, they are a part of my success, and they are successful too. And we are waiting, for instance, for this weekend. We have another challenger in Essen.
Yeah.
So he has all his chances. So his name is Klas. I hope when the video will be released that everything went well for him.
Definitely. Yeah, I think, Sparky was one of the other players that surprised people
Mm,
with Navinka
mm,
in the tournament. I think a lot of people, once we saw him in the top cut, were hoping that a Navinka player
mm.
was gonna get that qualification spot, and he ended up doing it, so it's interesting that you're all part of the same group and in the same area, right? So,
If you want a bit a little anecdote about Sparky,
yeah.
so the Friday, the evening before the event, Altered was organizing, sorry, a meeting with the team in a bar. So we were like 30 to 40 to meet the team.
Mhm.
And Sparky just came with his Nevenka deck and was like, I don't like it. I have something to change. It is not working. So with six of the guys and Sparky, we went to the bar. We like go to the table. He puts his deck on the table, and we changed maybe 8 or 9 cards, something like this. So the night before, he didn't test it. Everything was like on the I don't know how to say it, but and then the next day he roll onto every opponent. It's like the high road, and perfect. It was such a performance, and the story is so incredible that I'm so happy for him. He
Yeah.
deserves it so much.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that he didn't even have
Mm.
time to test it after all those changes.
No,
8
no, no,
ei
no.
8 or 9 cards? Wow.
At a bar at like maybe 11 p.m. So it was. Honestly, I feel bad for his opponent, especially for instance, the only game I saw is Tempête de la Neige, where he
Mhm.
has his Afanash with maybe 15 cards in hand. Lucky. You
Yeah,
have to discard all your cards from your hand. Oh, it's
yeah,
so funny.
yeah. Lo
Incredible.
Loki, the ultimate Afanis counter these days, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, you did talk about your little breakdown as far as going through the Swiss and making it to the top cut. But one
Mm,
other thing I did want to ask, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, is I think your only losses in the Swiss rounds were to Rocco and Sandodo, right?
mm,
But
mm.
you did mention some difficulty with Afanis overall. Is it a specifically difficult matchup as far as Afanis is concerned, or is it just an overall top tier hero that everyone knows kind of thing?
It's hard to answer this question because I have some difficulties, but my matchup is good.
Mhm,
Otherwise, I wouldn't have make it to the top, I think. Um, the hero might not need some nerf, but others might need some buffs because the thing I'm scared of is like if they are nerfing Afanas, it will destroy it like it did with Waru.
mhm.
And honestly, it's kind of sad to lose such a liked and enjoyable hero because I've played it. It's quite good. It's really a nice gameplay because you have to interact with your cards and everything. But maybe some nerf on the cards rather than the hero. But it's difficult also because if you nerf the cards, you will nerf Akesha and maybe Linjiwe. It's really hard to say. I don't have any opinion on it. But concerning my matchup and how I prepare, I take it into account and everything went well. So I think that people, if they do this effort to think about the matchup, they won't have any problem at
Yeah, that
all.
makes sense. I think a lot of people are hoping for a nerf on Afanis, and
Yeah, but to rebound on this,
yeah.
I think that the people in general are more how can I say they have the like every TCG the way to justify that they can't pass the matchup is to say that the hero is too broken. I know it because as I won with Treyst, the first thing that came out from the mouth of some people is that I don't know, this spell is too strong, this card is too strong, nerf it, etc. But if you take time to think about it and take time to construct, to build, to buy some uniques that are not played and to develop your own strategy, this is the beauty of this game. You can do like everything you want,
Yeah,
really everything.
yeah,
For
definitely
instance,
agree.
I'm now sorry building an Arjun that
Oh,
is
wow.
not played at all, and the deck is really fine. Really, it's a really strong deck, and it is working fine. So
Yeah.
you can do like you can win with everything for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I am surprised, though, to hear about the Arjun deck because
Mm.
of all the heroes that exist currently within Altered before we get into the next set, Arjun feels like the least, like, I
Mm.
mean, D we won't get into that, we'll probably spend too much
Mm.
time going over that, but, uh, you did get to talk a little bit about your, Swiss run, but as far as the
Mm.
top cut is concerned, did you expect to be there based off of your preparation?
Impossible. You can't expect that. It's a dream come true. But yeah, finishing six on like 700 players, it's like how can you possibly imagine that? Especially when you are like an outsider. On BGA, I know that I was good, but during an event like this, as I said, sorry, it's like my second one.
Mhm.
So it's impossible to have that that impression. So yeah, I've passed it. I was really happy, but then I think the final phase are completely different because I was locked in and I knew that if I passed the Swiss round, it would be easier after it because my deck is the most consistent one. As I can't break, as I know I can do the all the output of the world, my deck will be strong. You put a pressure on the shoulder of your opponent that, for instance, the CD Smart that took me one the first game, he knew that he doesn't have the matchup, and even though he won one, he was not happy about it for sure because he said to me after the first game, just after his loss, that he was a bit like not happy. He was a bit sad, and I was like, "Dude, you just won. You are up 1-0. Why are you like this?" And he was like, "No, I knew I know I was lucky." So and I just take my deck. I have like 6 cards in it, and I saw like 2 of my Anansis in the last 6 cards, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe you, you were a bit lucky, but you are up 1-0, so
Yeah.
don't be like this." So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting though, especially when
Mm,
you get those types of wins, and but it does kinda lend
mm,
into another question I had for you with the best of 3s in the top cut.
mm,
Um, how important was that to you, and what was that like? Because realistically, we haven't seen a lot of best of 3s in Altered as far as, like,
mm,
events are concerned. I know there has been a few where they've done best of 3s and maybe, like, the top 4 or top 8, I think, but,
mm,
having a full best of 3 top cut, it seemed like it mattered. There was a lot of 2-1 results from what I can
mm.
see, and some players coming back from 1-0 losses off the start there. So, what was that like for you?
I don't know every TCG, but for Altered, I know that the output, the mulligan that you have at the beginning is really, really important.
Mhm,
So the fact that you are in the best of three is relevant because you don't depend on the only one game and only the first hand you have. Because when you are doing the Swiss round, you can have a matchup that is free because you had the right card at the right moment. But to do it twice in a row, it's like so much difficult that the fact that you are in best of three, I think for me, is the best way to test that your deck is the better, and you are the best player.
no, that
So
makes
yeah, for me, it was the satisfiest. I don't know how to say it, but it
yeah.
was like the more convenient way to play the game than the Swiss round.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's there's always an argument going on in the Discord as far as best
Mm,
of ones and best of threes, so it's
mm,
interesting to see the results of it and what everyone thinks about it after playing it specifically,
mm,
especially from your perspective, having won the event, and,
mm.
speaking of winning the event, you did mention that it was more so a better feeling once you got the qualification spot, right, opposed to
Mm.
actually
Mm.
winning. I feel like can you go over some of the prizes that you got in
Of
total
course,
as the
yeah,
winner, and stuff that
of
we
course.
even may not know about?
So there is the trophy.
Yep,
Then we had the playmat for top 8, so I'm not the only one to have it. Because they didn't have it, we just got some Lucky Knocks playmat in order for us to wait for the top
okay.
8 playmat. So they gave us this playmat, which is really, really beautiful. So it's free.
Yep.
I got 4 set 3 boxes and 2 KSs, so 6 boxes in total.
Oh, wow.
Um, we just got a medal for like the qualification, which is pretty cool. I can say the faction card, which is I think for me the most representative and cool one because you can play it and you will be one of the only 12, 15 players to have like one of those.
Mhm.
The gift card, so Ludo Trotter just gave me a 500 euro cash card to use
Nice.
in their store. Do I forget something? I don't think so.
Good.
But the really cool thing also is that the fame that I just got with my deck also helped me to sell some uniques. Just have to say it. It's kind of part of the journey. So
Right.
it added to the price that they gave me through the tournament.
Yeah. Especially after the release of for anyone watching this, this is just post
Mm,
of the, set 5 spoilers, and, recently,
exactly.
a lot of the sacrifice permanents have just gone up in price
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
for sure.
marketplace. So,
Just be careful about this because this is a hype that everybody knows and the game itself is attending. But don't go too fast. You will find everything at time, and don't buy everything just because it has sacrifice on it. I think
yeah.
it's a good way to just throw your money away to buy everything.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah, definitely, been guilty about that
Mm,
before, but,
mm,
speaking of advice, uh, for everyone out there that's looking to play competitively and replicate your
mm.
success, what, can they do to do the same thing?
I, it will be a sentence that everybody can say for everything, but trust yourself. It's the best way to perform, and don't try to understand and not to blame. I think it's the best advice I can take because I just read some chat and I see that many people, sorry, are like faulting others, just saying that it's not their fault, it's because the meta. Na, 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 na. I don't say they are wrong. Everybody has its point of view and everything, but being in this state of mind is not the right way to do if you want to perform and if you want to be good with your own creation. So you have two options. In one hand, you can create your own weapon and try to perform with it, or you are uh, a different player, that you are exceptional, and you can play like decks that are on meta. But for me, it's not the funniest way to do it. The better way is to do with your own ideas and your own meta. So be strong and try to build against the meta and create your own weapons.
Definitely. Real quick one though, any more qualifiers, or are you done for now?
No, I'm done. I've talked to way too much.
Yeah, great. We'll wrap it up, but, any shout outs or anything you wanna promote before we're done?
Oh yeah, of course. I want to shout out so Linksyn and Claire, which are my bestie in Lille. I want to shout out my brother of Lyon, Sturk and Nabil. I love them, and Leo. They will hear themselves and they will recognize themselves. Sorry, and of course all my team, the Fugas team, with Julien, Max, Domain, etc. etc. I won't want to say every name because they will take it into account. And I want also to congratulate my friend Sparky and Enigma for their outstanding performance because even though I was 3, 2, 1, or 4, I don't care. We are all qualified, and the first place, as you said, is really like we just said with Parky before our match in the semifinals that anyway, any result, we would share the bill at the end. So
Nice.
we don't really care. The goal is done, and I don't know if I can say that it was a goal as it was unexpected at all. But yeah, I want to thank all of them. I want to thank you for the opportunity to help the community to grow in USA because I think you have one of the biggest and largest community in the world concerning TCG.
Mm,
And I think that your player can bring so much to the game so that it's really a mission. And that's why also you are the first one that I'm giving this opportunity
awesome.
to express myself. So thank you very much, and I hope that the game will take some importance in the US. And really thank you for the job you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. No, thank you for joining me on this slightly longer Top Cut talk. And stay tuned for more interviews and event coverage. And I'll see you in play on the next day.